One eye open when I'm sleeping. One eye.
Damn, Derrick Henry Burner, you the first one in here. God dog it. You the first one in here, brother. What's going on? Hoodie's A in the bill. Yes, Joe Judge is gone. He just got fired. Just got fired. Oh, my Lord. I ain't got no lights, so it's going to be a little grainy. I ain't got no lights, so it's going to be a little grainy. So there is that. It's not even in my house. I'm at a buddy's house of mine, so I didn't have enough time. I'm not going to be able to make it back at a decent amount of time, so I'm like, fuck it. I got my computer with me. Why not go live now before homie come home? Yo, what's going on? What's going on? Look great. How is it going? Paintings. A buddy of mine moved in, so I'm just helping out. Get their stuff set up. Jay, Amari, Tyson, King Savage, Hitman 47, Sean Jones, Jameer, Marquise, C. Mitch, Abdul, Trill Mac, Richie, Toast, Jonathan, Acid, King, H2O, Horizon, Gray, Hunter Thomas, captains in the building. God damn it. D.O., Isaiah, Randy Squared, Winter King, Jalen, Jonathan McKnight, Prime Time. Oh, Lord. Black Hood in the building. What's going on? Joker, Mike, Chucksters, Suspect, motherfucker. Jay said, see me, Hot Mike sending out notification 5 minutes after the stream go live. No, it just went live just now. I actually got the notification as I went live. I went live, what was it, 2 minutes? 2 minutes ago. I got the notification at the thumbnail. The thumbnail. Oh, God, dog. Look at the thumbnail. It's the freaking, it's that, oh, I got a cameo. But it's the, I got the notification literally as I went live. So I think they'll say, if y'all ain't getting the notification, I think I got to update y'all app. But I got the damn Detroit Urban Survival Training, dude. As the doggone thumbnail. God damn, what's going on, y'all? Chris Suarez in the building. Kenneth, Tommy, Predator Magnus, Ryan, Dr. Pitch, Kaz, Tyrone, Willie, Rashawn, what's up? What's up? Hey, Grizzly, what's up? Hey, big news. Like I had stated last night, playoff games, we doing a giveaway every single time I go live. Now, I ain't going to be live for every game. I'll tell you that, I ain't going to be live every game. But I will be live every day there is a game. So Saturday, first game of the playoff year. I believe is it the Bucks and Eagles first? Is it the Bucks and Eagles first? No, because the I know the Patriots and Bills play Saturday night. It might be, is it Cowboys 49ers? What's the first game on Saturday? I'm going live for the first game on Saturday, Pittsburgh game on Sunday, and then whatever game is on Monday night. Raiders Bengals, I'm live. There it is. Raiders Bengals, I'm live. Steelers Chiefs, I'm live. And then Monday night, whoever plays on Monday night, I'm live. So there's that. I'm going to be live every single game of at least one day every single week. I'm fixing to go live. Now, divisional round I hope I can go live. AFC Championship, I'm going live. AFC Championship, NFC Championship, I'm live for both games. But for the divisional round, it really depends. But Super Wildcard Weekend, because of how the commentary has to get done, I'd be remiss if I mess around and I go live for every single game and then y'all have the same situation like I had last year. But we spoke about that before. Dynasty put 5 on and said, who do I got playoff weekend? What teams do I have winning? I'm making my video on Thursday, so stay tuned for that. I ain't going to mention nothing about the postseason until we get there. But, my God, what a Week 18. All right. Honestly, first and foremost, it's the first Week 18 ever that the NFL had, if I'm not mistaken, I believe. Well, then again, I mean, after 9/11, 2001, things got postponed. Everything got postponed. So since that was the case, what would have been Wild Card Weekend ended up being Week 17, but that's not an additional game added, So what a Week 18. You talk about football. This is what football was all about. Okay, and I'm gonna reference the Pittsburgh accent because I was watching Pat McAfee all morning, today, and it's ridiculous. I rewatched the video of this man talking about, the clown emoji, sending this man clown time. It's in my damn mind. I can't get it out of my mind. But the man's hilarious. But whatever the case may be, we about to go down the line, talk about what transpired in Week 18. We got to first start out with the Saturday games. The Chiefs on the road to take on the Broncos. Let me tell you something right now, okay? Denver, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. The way this game played out was the epitome of Denver's season. Just when you thought they was going to lead you to where you wanted them to take you, that being a victory, they let you down when you needed the most. Testosterone put 2 on and said, Bronx up in this hole. We got the rarest loot. Well, I mean, first off, pray for the Bronx. I'd never say that, but there was a wildfire. I think it's 7 people died? 17? It's either 7 or 17, but shit crazy, bro. Hope everybody's okay. Well, said people died, so I don't think everybody okay, but we ain't talking about that right now. Denver and the Chiefs. The Chiefs actually looked like they were fixing to lose this game. Drew Lock was doing his thing, right? Drew Lock was doing his thing. And then what happened? End of the game come around, and then the two Melvins collide. And Melvin Gordon came out on the lower end. Flash, we don't give a fuck. Because it was Melvin Ingram who came out on the victorious side, and they left with a W. It was a fumble recovery for like 70-some yards, and they ended up scoring and winning. And then the Chiefs mess around, and they don't qualify for the top seed of the AFC because the Titans messed around and won. But the Broncos lose in probably the most Broncos fashion for this season. It was brutal. Dynasty Warrior put 5 on and said, I can't wait to see what you think about the choke slob in Jacksonville. Also, and we all know Dak was better than Carson Wentz. Well, we're going to talk about that in a bit. But it's really a shame. It really is a shame how the Broncos ended up losing the way that they did, but ultimately they were already eliminated from playoff contention. Kansas City needed to play to see if they can get that number 1 seed. They ended up taking care of their business, but unfortunately the Titans won as well. So it was what it was. We don't really got to get too much into numbers. It was a game that was at this particular point now deemed meaningless because of how things played out. So kudos to the Kansas City Chiefs. They walked away with a W, and they will host the Pittsburgh Steelers this Sunday night again for the second time in 4 weeks, in a month, I guess. Lord Missoula put 2 on and said, thoughts on the Dolphins firing Brian Flores. I talked about this last night. I don't like it. I understand you have 3 seasons with somebody, and I believe he ended 24 and 25 or 25 and 26. All I know is he was 1 game under 500. I feel like you have to weigh the situation. Like I said yesterday, said when it comes to a new coach, give them 3 years to at least see if they can turn it around. If not, get them the fuck up out of there. Unless, of course, you have an utter shit show like a Urban Meyer sort of situation. But in Brian Flores' case, you never had the quarterback. 2 years ago, there was a revolving door with Jacoby Brissett, and they were struggling, all this other stuff. Last year, they actually had a very good season, but then down the line, I believe it was a difference of about 2 games in the final quarter of the season that fucked them, and then ultimately they ended up winning 10 games and not qualifying for the postseason. And then this year, the start was absolutely abysmal. They turned it around, and they finished the season strong. However, they did not qualify. Had it been the other way around, and the Dolphins started out, let's say 7-1, 8-1, and then missed the doggone postseason, you could fire Flores. But for them to start 1-7, close out the season, did they not close out with a winning record? If I'm not mistaken, Miami was what, 9-8 or 8-9? What was Miami? Miami ended 8-9, or was it 9-8? They ended 9-8. The fact that you started 1-7, you ended your season 9-8. I understand they didn't qualify for the postseason. However, I think he should have kept his job. Let's be real. He should have kept his job. Some bullshit. Is there some race that should be brought into the account? I mean, hell, you'd be foolish if you sat here and said, "Hey, man, black coaches don't get a tougher end of the deal than a white coach." Had it been something different, you probably don't see Flores, get fired in that manner. But ultimately, it is what it is. It's unfortunate, but I hope that brother get a job somewhere else and he really stick it to the doggone Dolphins, because I feel like he was the right guy for the job. Moreover, he can, turn that goddamn organization around. I think he got fucked really bad. It should have never happened that way, dog. Joanne, Pafavon said Big Ben doing his revenge tour. You're damn right. But wow, the Ravens have given him the best ending. If he didn't, the Ravens gave him the best ending if he didn't get into the playoffs. You're correct, because it's a game-winning drive against your heated rival. And Big Ben was a contributing factor to them winning. So it's a huge, it would have been a huge victory had they still, not qualified for the playoffs. It's a hell of a send-off, just like Bill Cowher. The Steelers ended up beating I believe it was the Bengals in 2006, and that was a hell of a send-off to send him into retirement. Lucas put 2 on and said NY gets rid of Joe Judge and David Gettleman retires. My thoughts, Joe Judge need to get the fuck up out of there, and I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. Gettleman, he should have been fired. There's no reason why Gettleman should have been allowed to retire. That was some bullshit. Matthew Pafavon said Derek Vehicle, 35. Justin Herbert from Family Guy, 32. Yes, sir. Gruden Grinders, you're absolutely right with that. But the next Saturday game, Dallas and Philly. When it was knotted at 17 apiece, I'm like, man, Gardner Minshew looks all right. And then in 4 minutes, it went from what looked like a tight game to a blowout. It looked like it was a fucking blowout out of nowhere, bruh. Shit came out of nowhere. They lost by 25, but the lead had been as big as 30 plus. Dallas, I don't know what happened in them from the final minutes of the first half until the end of the game. Dallas fucking exploded. Dak with 5 touchdown passes. Jarrell King put 10 on and said, my Raiders not only put my dad's team into the playoff, they also gave the Chargers the biggest middle finger, and now no Chargers. No, you're absolutely right about that. Death note for the coaches that got fired. Hey, I might just have to do a separate video for that, because usually I put it inside the week 17 or week 18, commentary. But this time around, I was literally recording the commentary throughout the entire night because I couldn't go to sleep. My heart was freaking pounding out of my chest after watching that Raiders Chargers game. So I didn't do it, but I'll probably do something special for them. But A Grizzly said I gotta stop talking like that before I lose my New York accent. It's not happening. But Grana Pafavon said, can I hire you to be the coach of the Minnesota of Queens? Well, first off, the Minnesota, so that result in me moving. So but Dallas took care of business. Dak over 5 TDs. Zeke 87 yards on the ground. Cedric Wilson could not be covered. Over 100. Hell of an effort. Great job from those guys. But both teams are headed to the postseason. But for Dallas, I would only hope they keep this momentum because they're going to need it against San Francisco. Brian said, am I doing commentary on the national championship? Yes, I am. I'm recording it tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll be able to upload it because we all know how the NCAA does with my national championships. The past couple of years, it's been extremely tough to upload it. In fact, after the initial season of the commentary, when I did Alabama and Georgia back in 2018, that was probably the easiest national championship I was ever to upload, But Matthew Pafavon and said, look at them boys. They got thick. Dalton Schultz, Amari Cooper, CD Lamb. We them boys. We going to the Super Bowl. But Cincinnati, now we on to Sunday. Cincinnati, Cleveland, Battle of Ohio, but really just the Browns trying to get themselves a victory. They were going to be under 500 anyway. And remember at the beginning of the season, when I predicted the Browns would not only miss the playoffs, but the Browns wouldn't be 500, who looked crazy now? I'm going to go back to the first week of the season, and I'm going to pull it up. I said the Browns wouldn't be 500, and they were not 500. They got a victory here, 8-9. I think I may have predicted 7-10 or 8-9, but whatever the case was, they ain't make it to the doggone postseason. It's a damn shame, bruh. It's a goddamn shame. Cincinnati may have taken an L, but it doesn't matter. They were resting everybody. I don't even think Zach Taylor was at the game. Nobody who was a starter showed up for Cincinnati. There were some of the starters who played. Shut up! Nobody who was a starter for Cincinnati showed up. Chris Collinsworth was out there at wide receiver. That's how much, deep into the bench, deep into the depth chart that Cincinnati went. And still, the Browns only won by 5. All right, I got to stop now. I'm messing around and lose my New York accent. The Browns messed around and only won by 5, dog. They only messed around and won by 5. So, kudos to the Browns. They got themselves a W, but nobody really give a fuck because they eliminated from playoff contention. And you got Cincinnati hosting a playoff game because they are champions of the AFC North. Yes, the Giants fired Joe Judge. Kyrie said, "Yo, my net worth is $775,000. They tripping. You broke, baby. You ain't wrong about that. Hell, look at the background. All right, I ain't even got no doggone lights. I mean, I'll be in my house, but nevertheless, I still ain't got no lights. God damn it." Jamar Chase played? No, he didn't. That was Chris Collinsworth out there in blackface. Ain't a single starter for the Bengals was out there. I don't care what you say. You can pull it up right now. No, I don't care. I'm blind. Call me Stevie Wonder. It's not happening. Nicholas, but 2-1 said, how many G's you spent on that painting back there? It's not my house. This ain't my stuff. Did I move? No. I'm not at home. I buddies. I was helping one of my friends move this time. I don't even like paintings like that. I helped one of my buddies move in, so that's the only reason why I'm not in the house right now. I knew I was gonna take my computer with me because I was gonna work on some stuff. He went to go get some doggone groceries and get some food because that's what you do. You help somebody move, they feed you. You know. If I just pulled up, help hold me move in. He's like, all right, go about your business. I'm like, hey, man, I'm about to call up OJ. Yee. But we ain't talking about that right now. Next up, Detroit took down the Green Bay Packers. Let me tell you this much. Aaron Rodgers had a very stellar first half, 2 touchdowns like it was nothing, both to Lazard, whatever the case was. Devontae Adams passed, I believe it was Sterling Sharp, for the most receiving yards in a season, so that was nice for him. But then, my God, the Lions, let me tell you something. They might just be the greatest 3-win team of all time. Grana put 2 on it. Said, do they know you there? Also, did they get me pizza? Well, I actually have no clue what it is that I'm gonna eat. With food I'm supposed to get. But do they know I'm here? Yeah, they know I'm here. I mean, I said, hey, I'm gonna go step out. Might as well, go live. So, all right, no problem. So there's that. But yeah, so Jordan Love came in the second half after Aaron Rodgers sat down, and then, well, did a whole lot of nothing. Like the fourth quarter was just, all right, yo, what y'all doing? Nothing. Like the back-to-back interceptions to end the game. Jared Goff and company took care of business. Jamal Williams got himself a victory over his former team, but Lord knows he wish he was still in Green Bay. For the Lions, I can hope they take this momentum. Although I never believed in, well, the way you end the season before is how you take that momentum into the next season. No, I think there's a number of different factors that end up changing. Like Calais Campbell had said it in his press conference after the Steelers game. Things will never be the same because there's a lot of players that leave in free agency. There's other people who mess around and get traded. There's a lot of people who mess around and maybe retire. Things of that nature change. Other teams happen to change. So you never know. But I can only hope the Lions are so much better next year than they are this year. I'm really hoping that's the case, man. Because, man, I really liked, to tell you the truth, watching Lion games, if you were a Lions fan, was pain because you knew the inevitable. But watching as a neutral fan, you always felt like Detroit was in the game, with the exception of maybe about 4 games. But they were in every single game, man. So kudos to Dan Campbell, former player, now coach, leader of men. I really hope he can get the job done in Detroit. Not only do I hope Detroit makes it to the playoffs, I hope they get a playoff win. Nicholas Pafavon said, "Do I think Rodgers is a bad man, undeserving? Wait, do I think Rodgers is a bad man, undeserving of the MVP award?" Undeserving? No, I think Rodgers actually is the MVP. The only other person you could probably make an argument for is Brady. I think Jonathan Taylor's chances just got fucked. Cooper Kupp actually increases his MVP stock because Stafford continues to struggle, but Cooper Kupp continues to excel. However, because they never gave the MVP to Jerry Rice, which they should have, and I think it was 88. No, not 88. In 80, was it 88 or 89? I can't remember. Whatever the case was. For one of those, because because that was the case, I was really hoping that they would give the MVP to Jerry at one point in his career. Because that never happened, I don't think I ever want to see a receiver win the MVP. I may be biased, but until a receiver gets 2,000, at that point, maybe. But Rodgers undeserving? I don't think so. Levi put 2 on and said Steelers going Super Bowl. You ain't wrong about that. Oh, good Lord. Hold on. Wait. Give me a second. Wait. I'm gonna call them back. But for Passive Life, put 5 on, said Steelers fans must have had conniptions and panic attacks, all sort of cardio pulmonary episodes. I have no clue what that. I'm not medical. Watching the Raiders and the Chargers game. In the Chargers game. Well, yeah, it was brutal. It was absolutely brutal. It was absolutely brutal. But yeah, Detroit took down the Green Bay Packers. Minnesota and Chicago, a game that really had no kinds of implications whatsoever, but Chicago came out on the losing side. I actually thought Minnesota was going to lose, but they messed around and they won. So there is that. Who am I taking in the Super Bowl? Well, I'll talk about that in my prediction. But yeah, Minnesota got themselves a W. Good job for Minnesota. Unfortunate for Chicago. Very brutal. An unfortunate sort of situation for Chicago. They messed around. They took an L. Oh wow, Joe Judge and the Giants and Washington game is coming up next because Minnesota and the Bears. That was an all right game, but Minnesota walked away with the W. Good job for Justin Jefferson to close out the season with a bang. You know, a lot of yardage this year. Unfortunately, they didn't go back to the playoffs, but they got the job done. You know, so good job for them. Thought on the Eagles' chances versus the Bucks. I'll talk about it in my prediction. Antoine says, "Oh, Henry." Peyton said, "Is that what he meant by biting kneecaps off? What you mean for Dan Campbell? Shit, I don't know." Jose put 2 on and said, "Why do I hate Dallas so much?" I don't hate Dallas. I just like to make fun of Dallas. I don't hate them. But give me a second. Turns out I got to go get something from the door. I will be right back, and then we'll resume. Give me a second. I'll be back.
One eye open when I'm sleeping. One eye.
All right. All right. Oh, jeez. Good Lord. How long was I gone? Hey. How long was I gone? God damn. Fatigue is an understatement. I ain't get murked. I didn't get murked. Jesus. All right. Goddamn groceries. Okay, so Grana put 10 on it. Said Minnesota, Chicago. Minnesota mess around, fail to lose. When they had a chance to put some in the record, put someone in the record book, they take a knee, fail at one thing they wanted them to do, coach gets shown the door. Honcho put 5 on it. Hello, Chiseled Adonis. How are you doing, sir? I'm exhausted. And my question is, what is the chance that your Eagles got against the Bucs? I'm gonna touch on that when I get to the playoff preview in 2 days. Slim Shady Canes, Pafava said, counting on Aaron Rodgers in the NFC Championship game is like Amir Khan counting on his chin in the ring. Bucs over Titans in the Super Bowl, back to back. Well, that's interesting. We'll see how that all plays out. Did I have any donations that I happened to miss while I was attempting to aid in grabbing groceries? Oh, good Lord. Desi said, I look like I'm going to Detroit Urban Survival Training. Well, no, but we'll see. Nessa Master said, we say swole over here. Hey, keep in mind, one trip, but fucking like 18 bags. It's ridiculous. Why is my mouse, did my mouse die? Oh, it's on now. Okay, my mouse is working. God damn it. All right. The rumor's not that Joe Judge got fired. Joe Judge did get fired. So, Giants, Washington football team. Washington football team win 22-7. Let me tell you something right now. The Giants should be ashamed of themselves. Inside their own 5-yard line, these motherfuckers don't even want to try to attempt to throw the football on a 3rd down. They run a QB sneak out of a victory formation on 2nd down. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Understand me? The Giants are an absolute shit show. An absolute shit show. A terrible goddamn organization. No, I'm not home. This is not my place. It's ridiculous. The hell was that formation? They lined up like a damn triangle. It was the victory formation. They running out of there because they don't feel comfortable throwing the football inside their own 5. Ridiculous. Somebody need to get fired, bruh. Straight up. And damn near Gettleman retired. Fuck no. He should have got fired during the game. Joe Judge should have got fired during the game. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, bruh. How do you put yourself in a situation like that where you're inside your own 5? Last game of the season, literally, there's nothing to lose at this point. You're already eliminated from the playoffs. You know damn well most of the people who came to this city actually felt bad that they would, sign to this shit show of a team. What's the purpose? Freaking go for it. Instead of doing that, oh no. And I ain't saying go for it on 4th down inside your own 5. That's stupid. What are you, the Chargers? Try to attempt on a 3rd down to throw the football, but you line up in a victory formation and try to run it? You got to be kidding me, bruh. You got to be kidding me. Terrible, man. Deontay put 3 on it. That's an interesting way to spell Deontay. Said, love my channel and no more Joe Judge. Hey, I appreciate you. A QB sneak on 3rd and 9. Man, the Giants are a shit show of an organization, bruh. The Giants are a shit show of an organization, and they should be truly ashamed of themselves. Lord Missoula put 2 on it. Said, Giants are so bad, the whole stadium booed them. Indeed, they did. I was booing them. Boo. I'm booing them right now. Boo. Boo them as I boo them. Boo. Boo. Listen, let me tell you something right now. Roger Goodell gets booed at every NFL draft. The Giants need to be booed every time they play football. When they in practice, I need people to boo them. When they line up for games, I need them to boo them. When they even thinking about football, I need somebody to boo them. They are absolute garbage, bruh. New York football Giants, more like New York toilet bowl. They are garbage. The only Super Bowls that the Giants, they should actually have one revoked. They should only have 3 Super Bowl trophies inside of their stadium at this point. One of them should be revoked for that lack of competitiveness. You got to be kidding me, bruh. Get Joe Judge the fuck up out of here. If that brother's a judge, he might as well be the judge of German 66 in One Piece and stab that man right through the heart. Send him to the afterlife. Send him to the upper room. That's a goddamn shame, bruh. The Giants ought to be ashamed of themselves. Y'all some baby back bitches. That's all I got to say about them bum-ass motherfuckers, man. Got to be kidding me. Should be ashamed of themselves. Saquon needs to leave ASAP. Free that man. It's MetLife Stadium for a reason. Because everybody want to do drugs instead of watching the New York Giants play football. Next up, Tennessee Titans took on the Houston Texans. First and foremost, let me say this. Davis Mills is the quarterback for the Texans moving forward. Now, will he have a sophomore slump? Will he have a spectacular sophomore season? Well, that's yet to be seen. But I like Davis Mills. I think they should try him out at quarterback moving forward, and we'll see how things play out. However, Tennessee locked up that number 1 seed. Julio Jones got his first touchdown as a member of the Tennessee Titans. Who would have thought? Well, was it Julio in this game? Yes, it was Julio Jones. Yeah, Julio got himself a touchdown in this particular game. And moreover, Derrick Henry is returning for the playoffs, but the Titans secured that number 1 seed. Honcho Pafavon said, have I changed my stance on Sirianni? He's the only new hire that led his team to the playoffs. Let me tell you this much. The way I felt about the Eagles when they were 2-5, and I said I hope they go 2-15, and they don't win a single game moving forward. Right? When I said I hope they don't win another game moving forward because they weren't handing the football to Miles Sanders, and suddenly, Philly figured it out and they found themselves into the postseason. You know what? I might be turning, the corner on Sirianni. I might just be turning the corner on Sirianni. He got his boys to the playoffs. Cameron put 5 on it, said, did I hear the city of New York trying to sue the Jets and Giants because they're not even in New York? Hell, they should. NRWD, put 5 on it, said, have I heard New York is suing the Giants and Jets for having their stadium in New Jersey and naming their teams in NY? Well, I didn't know this, but this is news to me. But hell, New York City is way too big of a market to not have their own football team. The only thing is that you don't have a player. I said a player. You don't have a stadium here for them to play. So unless you're going to build one in New York, but where would you put it? You can't put it in Brooklyn. You can't put it in Queens. Well, maybe Queens. Definitely can't put it in the Bronx. Manhattan is out of the question. Staten Island is probably a premier location if you wanted to make a New York football team. But who the fuck is going to Staten Island to go watch games? If I got to get on that Arizona, I'm gonna kill myself. Long Island. There's space in Long Island, but it's damn near same shit. Not gonna be very. Long Island, New York City, and the games in Long. I could see it, but I don't know. All I know is it's not gonna happen in Manhattan. There's no goddamn way. Gordy put 2 on it. Said, am I an island boy? Listen, let me tell you something. If you ever see my hair poking out in that direction and you see me, I'm an island. Shoot me. Shoot me. Shoot me. Matter of fact, don't even shoot me. Stab me with a bayonet. And then shoot after you already stabbed me. Matthew put 5 on it. Said, I'm going to say the Raiders beating the Bengals 33-30, and the Gruden Grinders will play the Lolly Lule Low in Star Foxborough. We will see. We will see. Oh, I don't want to touch on that game right now. Saints and Falcons. The Saints were able to walk away with a W. Taysom Hill left with a foot injury. And then what happened? Trevor Siemian came in and started dealing. The Falcons and Matt Ryan was able to go and get themselves a couple touchdowns. Moreover, Matt Ryan was able to pass Eli Manning for 9th all-time in passing touchdowns. Did it help them come back and win, though? Absolutely not. And let me tell you something right now. The Saints need to figure out what the fuck they want to do at QB. You have Jameis Winston, who's in the locker room, but if I'm not mistaken, he's fixing to be a free agent. But Taysom Hill, Trevor Siemian, whoever else, they ain't the quarterback. They are not the quarterback. So they got to figure out what's going on at QB. And unfortunately for the Saints, they needed to win and they needed a 49ers loss. But guess what? Did the 49ers lose? No. No, they didn't. In fact, they won in spectacular fashion. So kudos to the Saints closing out the season with a victory. But unfortunately, they fell short of the postseason. Abdul said, you put me out of my misery for that Island Boy. Hey, you ain't wrong about that. Shoot me. I will give me the electric chair while I'm doused with water. I would never want to become an Island Boy. It's not happening. Buffalo and New York. First and foremost, it looked like New York could have made things interesting in the first half, regardless of the abysmal first quarter. But it looked like New York could have did something in the first half. Second half came around. New York forgot how to play football. Buffalo walked away with the victory. Moreover, walked away with the division. And they are back-to-back AFC East champions. So claps around the room for the Buffalo Bills. And they're going to have a rematch, the third time, thrice, with the New England Low Patriots. So there is that as well. But good victory for the Bills. Unfortunate season once again for the Jets, and both the Jets and Giants fall under 500 again. 2015 was the last time that both the Jets and Giants were over 500. Like, do you know how terrible? There's a reason why New York must be suing, dog. There's a reason why New York must be suing. Because not only are you not in the state, y'all motherfuckers is ass. Like, had they not been so ass, they wouldn't have been in this position. Miami and the New England Patriots in a game in which the Patriots needed a victory and they needed the Bills to lose in order for the Patriots to win the division. Miami showcased they continue to be the kryptonite for Bill Belichick-led teams. All right, when you play in Miami, you're going to run into some issues, and that's exactly what transpired. That's exactly what transpired. Because the Miami Dolphins took care of business. Tua was looking solid. You also had Jalen waddle away, waddle, waddle. Then he waddled away, waddle, waddle, waddle. Then he waddled away, waddle, waddle. For a touchdown in the end zone. And he waddled. What I love the fact about Jalen Waddle is not only does he actually took the waddle and started waddling when he scores now. That's perfect. It's perfect. All right. But the Patriots could not come from behind and, get themselves a W. Brandon Bolden actually played very good. Whatever the case is, whenever Bolden plays in Miami, he always has a good game. Why is that? Why is that? He always has a good game when he's over there. Very interesting. But unfortunately, Flores is no longer the coach in Miami, which I think is utter bullshit. But he's not. Hopefully, not hopefully. I believe he's going to get a job somewhere else. Now, the question is it going to be a head coach or is it going to be as a coordinator? We will have to find out when the time comes. Oh, yes, that's right. Waddle did get the record for the most receptions as a rookie. He does get the for the most receptions as a rookie. So good for him. For the Patriots, unfortunate loss. However, you get an opportunity to go to the postseason anyway. So there is that. Nestmaster says Waddle watches Chiseled Adonis. No, not really. I mean, his last name being Waddle, everybody, well, not everybody, but a vast majority of people who utilize the internet know of the Duck song. So I'm pretty sure somebody say, hey, Waddle, you should probably waddle. I doubt he watches me. But Austin Eckler, like, what else? I've been saying the guitar shit before he even did the guitar, and then he started doing the guitar. So maybe he watches me, but I don't know. But Seattle and Arizona. Let me tell you this much, all right? Like I said in the commentary, don't let nobody ever tell you that winning don't matter to these damn players. Don't ever let nobody tell you, hey, you should just tank for a better draft pick, because these armchair GMs think people don't want to go out there and win. At the end of the day, these players work their entire life to get to where they are right now in the league. And the last thing they about to do is lay down. Tell Russell Wilson, hey, you could just take it easy. You're playing against a team that's still trying to fight to see if they can win the division. You don't really get anything out of this victory. Just go ahead and lay down. Fuck that. Fuck that, said Russell Wilson. And he went out there, and not only was he dealing, he ran a touchdown as well. And Seattle beat the Arizona Cardinals. Jarrell King, Pafabo, said, do I think the Raiders should swoop up Brian Flores? No, I think the Raiders coach is right in front of them. Raiders coach is right in front of him. The same interim coach who became the first interim coach to lead his team to the playoffs, guess what? He should be the guy. Bottom line. Bottom line. Don't ever tell nobody in Seattle. Don't tell Russell Wilson this shit don't matter to him. You play to win the game. And Seattle walked away with a W. Arizona, and truly I feel this way. Arizona peaked midway through the season when they were 8-0, 7-0 or whatever, and then they ended up losing. And then now they've lost, more games than they've won since November. To be honest with you, I think it's over. The writing is on the wall. The writing is on the wall. Gordy put 5 on it, said if the Steelers make it to the Super Bowl, I'm hitting that Mike Tomlin. Hey, shit, you might as well. Stephen Curry said it was a pretty decent rookie wide receiver class. Chase have over 1,000. Smith got 900. Moore is a good player for the Ass Jets. Indeed he is. It's a good wide receiver class. This is a good year for wide receiver class. Who's the coach of the year? Honestly, right now, shit, you kind of got to look at what the Raiders interim coach had to inherit. I mean, hell, I said Belichick, and then, they didn't win the division, so you're not about to win Coach of the Year with 10-7. So, really, I think it's about to be a race to the finish, whoever performs better in the postseason. But, man, Mike Vrabel losing Derrick Henry, I think right now Mike Vrabel's got a hell of an opportunity to get it. You got to look Vrabel. You got to look the Raiders coach. You got to look let's see here. The Bengals coach, Zach Taylor. I'd say probably those three. I think those three. No, Peyton didn't make the playoffs, so I don't think it's not going to work out for them. Brassman said, hey, do I think Pete Carroll should retire next 2 years? And no, I think Pete Carroll's going to retire this year. Oh, no, you can't say Dan Campbell. They only won 3 games. Like, that's ludicrous. You can't say Dan Campbell. That's ludicrous. Oh, God, dog. Give me a second.
One eye open when I'm sleeping. One eye.
I didn't disappear for that long this time. But yeah, I think I'd probably lean towards Mike Vrabel getting that Coach of the Year. Definitely would probably lean towards Mike Vrabel getting that Coach of the Year. Now, Tampa Bay, Carolina. Tampa just destroyed Carolina. I was kind of hoping that we could have saw, a little Cam in this game, knowing that this is going to be Cam's last game, but that wasn't the case. It was the Darnold show, and Tampa Bay just completely obliterated them motherfuckers. 8 straight seasons for Mike Evans, over 1,000 yards. So there's that. No, it's not my crib. This is not my crib. And there is that. Now, to the 4 games, the 4 games that mattered most. First and foremost, we're going to have to start out. Jacksonville obliterated the Indianapolis Colts. Jacksonville obliterated the Indianapolis Colts. Let me first say this. Jacksonville's D-line, my God, magnificent masterclass performance. That's number one. Secondly, the superior Josh Allen led the charge. I'm telling you guys right now, from this point forth, whenever you think Josh Allen, you better think about Jacksonville's Josh Allen. Do not think about Buffalo's Josh Allen. All right, because the Colts went out there and got dominated by Josh Allen and company. All right, next up, Carson Wentz, my God. First, I used to always make the argument, listen, when you're talking about Dak versus Carson Wentz, I think Carson's a much more talented quarterback, or whatever the case may be. He can step up and rise to the occasion. I was wrong. Anybody who thought Carson was the guy was wrong. That brother played like ass. Garbage. The Colts defense, led by Darius Leonard. Hey, I could be a potential defensive player of the year. Nope. 7 Pro Bowlers or whatever, all pros, whatever the case may be on that doggone team, looked like garbage. They got worked on every aspect of the game. Worked. Garbage. They looked terrible. Jacksonville went out there like they the playoff team. Jacksonville kicked their ass, dog. It was bad. It was really bad. It was really bad. From start to finish. There wasn't a moment in that game in which it looked like the Colts was fixing to make a comeback. They ain't score a touchdown until, what was it, like they was losing 26-3? They was losing 23-3? They were getting destroyed out there, bruh. They ought to be ashamed of themselves. What was it? Carson Wentz had, what was it, a 4.4 QBR? You fighting for your playoff life. You got a 4.4 QBR. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, dog. You got to be ashamed of yourself. How do you let that happen? How do you let that happen? Who's the all-decade QB? Tom Brady. It's not. It's Tom Brady. While we having this conversation, but like the Colts were they played so bad. Peter filed a grievance to remove the name Colt because it's associated with horses. In fact, being a Colt fan, I'm pretty sure you had to take out a Colt 45, possibly want to shoot yourself. That's how bad of a game they had. They looked absolutely terrible, bruh. Absolutely terrible. I've never seen, a team that had everything rolling. They looked like, nope. Rich Eisen said it best. Rich Eisen said, a couple weeks ago, the Colts were the team that nobody wanted to play. Now, they're the team that nobody is going to play. Because they ain't going to the playoffs. They season done. The Colts got to play the postseason on Madden. This was Jacksonville's first game over 25 points. Jacksonville couldn't score over 25 points all season. The one game against the one team that nobody in the postseason thought they wanted to see is the team that they score over 25 to. I don't want to ever hear nothing about Indianapolis anymore. Frank Reich went to the playoffs with Phillip Rivers, who could barely move. And he's got a team with a Carson Wentz where he's got a team with a prime player in every single position. You've got two top O-linemen in the entire league. And they look like garbage. You got to be kidding me, bro. You ought to be ashamed of themselves. Mega Man said they drank Colt 45 before the Jags game. Shit, that's what they probably did. They played Russian roulette with how to play football, and evidently they shot themselves every single time with the pill that says, I don't know how to play football. It's Tennessee's division, not only for the foreseeable future, but forever. Actually, if Jacksonville plays their cards right, they get the right coach. They draft the right player. You get your number one receiver sort of situation. You get a decent sort of tight end. You shore up that offensive line. Jacksonville's going to the playoffs. But if you're the Colts, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. That's all I got to say about that. Next up, Baltimore and Pittsburgh. If you ever needed a game that would have been perfect for Ben Roethlisberger to retire, that was the game. That was the game. Because Tyler Huntley came out there. He didn't really need to do too much. He had 2 interceptions. One bad one. Another one that was kind of, how'd he catch that? Because Terrell Edmonds had it. It was in betwixt his hands, but then when he stood up, he actually lost the football, so it should have been a fumble, but Mark Andrews' foot just so happened to hit him while he was in the process of getting up, so they considered that, him being down by contact, and then thus they gifted the Steelers with an interception because of the circumstances. Right? Then, on offense, Big Ben Roethlisberger, of course, throws a terrible interception because he has to do it at least once every single game. And then, when the chips were on the damn table, when you needed somebody to give you the lead, Ben drove his team down the field with no Najee Harris, gave his team the lead. Well, there was Najee Harris. Well, I mean, he was non-factor for the most part. But because he got hurt in the first opening drive, and then he was gone until like the fourth quarter, right? I think he came back in like the third for like a series or whatever the case was. But when the money was on the line, Big Ben gave them the lead. Now, granted, Baltimore went down the field. They kicked the field goal, ultimately ended up going to overtime. But Ben showed up. Did I see AB's music video? No, I didn't. I actually didn't. But Ben showed up. Overtime. Tyler Huntley overthrows Mark Andrews. Then Pittsburgh gets the football back. They go all the way down the field, put themselves in a position. Najee Harris is able to fight through, gets by Jimmy Smith, moves the chains. They at the 15, send out Boswell through the uprights, and it's good. And now you wait. to see if you can make it to the postseason. And man, let me tell you something right now. That was a hell of a way for Ben to go out. For one, you sweep the Ravens on the season, right? So the Steelers sweep not only the Browns, but also the Ravens, but they get swept by the Bengals, right? So in Ben's last stand, you lose to the young gun twice, but you beat, the two other guys. Well, he beat Lamar, he beat Hundley, he beat Baker twice, right? So at least he got revenge on one person. Unless they see Cincinnati at one point down the road, that's the only way they're going to be able to try to, avenge themselves. But that's a hell of a way for Ben to close it out. And might I add, a lot of people talk about Ben's noodle arm and everything, but keep in mind, when the money was on the line and they needed somebody to throw them complete, it was Ben on third down after fourth down. It was Ben who completed those. Because say what you want about him and his inaccuracies and all them picks or whatever, his back was up against the wall. The season and his career was on the line, and he came through time and time again. And if that ain't showcasing, who Big Ben Roethlisberger is, I don't know what is. Jeremiah put 5 on and said, I can't wait for the Chiseled Adonis Awards because this has been one hell of a season. Hey, you ain't wrong about that. I got to start, the preparation for that so I don't end up, making shit tough for me. But hell of a victory for the Steelers, and then they had to wait because there were 2 other games that remained. Now, granted, this one had no implication on them, but with New Orleans Saints winning earlier, well, it was pretty much at the same time. San Francisco and L.A. was, for one, the Rams had to play for the division. San Francisco had to win to get in. If they lost, knowing that the Saints were on their way to victory, they would have pressed around and, not made it to the postseason. And what happened? The Rams jumped out to a 17-0 lead and suddenly forgot how to play football. Let me ask a question to the Rams defense. How is it that you have Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, Von Miller, and you guys can't hold on to a 17-0 lead? I don't understand that. Sean McVay is 45-0 when he has a lead at halftime. Not anymore. 45-1. Why? Because Deebo Samuel is an absolute beast. Moreover, because porn star Jimmy G was fighting for his San Francisco career. Understand, the same way Ben Roethlisberger was fighting his heart out to keep his career continuing, because if they contended for the playoffs and he has an opportunity to keep playing, Jimmy G, let's just be honest, the way he played in the first half, and hell, the way he played this season, Trey Lance will be the quarterback of the 49ers moving forward. These will be Jimmy G's final snaps for the 49ers. But he just was able to kind of change the conversation. Because when the chips were on the table and the game had to be won, Jimmy G started dealing. The throw that he threw to Deebo Samuel in overtime to move those, or was it in the fourth quarter? Whatever the case was, where he threw it short and Deebo was running a corner, that's on Jimmy G. That is perfection. Because he put the football in the perfect spot, right over the nickel corner, right in front of wherever the safety or the other person was going to be. Magnificently thrown football. And Jimmy G was able to keep his 49ers career going. All right. For the Rams, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. First and foremost, Cooper Kupp became the second wide receiver of all time to amass over 1,900 receiving yards, right? He became the first receiver since Steve Smith in 2005 to become the Triple Crown, winner with receptions, yardage, and touchdowns, right? And for the life of me, I don't understand why down the stretch Matthew Stafford is going to Odell. You had the whole game to go to Odell. You wait until down the stretch to target Odell. Why? I don't understand that. Matthew Stafford, looking like an absolute fraud, started the season looking magnificent. In fact, I actually predicted he would have messed around and won the MVP. And then he's fallen off of a cliff. Cam Akers came back from, what was it, Achilles, ACL? I don't understand the Rams, bro. I don't understand the Rams. Why do they keep doing this to themselves? I'm telling you right now, they can't beat the Niners. It doesn't matter how, it doesn't matter when, it doesn't matter what the circumstance is. They can't beat the Niners. The Niners are 6-0 against the freaking Rams, bro. It's crazy. 6 in a row. It was an Achilles. Same old Stafford. I've been saying for the longest, Stafford is being held down by Detroit, and he gonna go out there to L.A. and start playing like utter garbage, bro. And let me say this about the 49ers. I should say this about Stafford, really, because it's not even really the 49ers defense. Because had Stafford thrown a better ball, Odell Beckham goes into the end zone, the 49ers aren't even in the playoffs. If Stafford threw a better ball, Odell's in the end zone, because Odell had his man beat. Matthew said Stafford is tied for the most picks in the season alongside Trevor Lawrence. Indeed he is. Indeed he is. I really don't understand. Stafford, this was supposed to be the year that Stafford probably mess around, go out there and score a bunch of touchdowns. And I really feel like the Rams are going to miss Robert Woods. I think Stafford threw for, 41 touchdowns, 39 touchdowns, 38 touchdowns, whatever the case was. But they're really going to miss Robert Woods unless, of course, they utilize, Odell in that particular manner. But they're really going to miss Robert Woods in the playoffs. They need Robert Woods. And unfortunately, he out, ACL. So, but for the Rams, not only the only issue on offense is Stafford. He's got to get it together. If he can get rid of the turnovers, this is a scary football team. But that defense. Henry said, is Stafford going after next year? Fuck no. Stafford's going to be there for the foreseeable future. But I will say this. I'm concerned about the Rams defense. And Ramsey had a hell of a pick. But I'm concerned about the Rams defense. Von Miller is starting to play good football, right? Aaron Donald is Aaron Donald. But for what, and Ramsey is Ramsey. They're all three, well, two of the three is going to be first team All-Pro. Von Miller ain't going to be no first team All-Pro. But the Rams can't keep it together. They haven't had dominant performances. Coming into after they acquired Von Miller, everybody was sitting there like, yo, the Rams about to be looking crazy. They look like the 2019 Browns. They look like the 2019 Browns. Look great on paper, overhyped, overrated. That's what they look like right now. The Rams are going into this playoffs. Nobody is picking the Rams to go to the Super Bowl. Nobody. So they better actually look themselves in the mirror and be like, hey, man, we gotta start to do something. Because y'all not gonna beat the Bucs again if y'all play like that. Y'all definitely not gonna beat the Packers if you play like that. It's gonna be an early postseason for y'all. Understand me? It's going to be an early postseason for y'all. Rams better get it together because they will be a first round out. Believe me, they will be a first. If they see the 49ers, if the Rams win this upcoming Sunday, they beat the is the Bucs they playing? Fuck the Rams playing. No, the Bucs playing the Eagles. The 49ers are playing Dallas. The Rams are playing why is it escaping me? The Cardinals. If they can't beat the Cardinals, well, they should beat the Cardinals. But if they can't beat the Cardinals, well, for one, the season done. But you really got to call into question what kind of football team this is, honestly. A good victory for the 49ers. And, man, Dallas, you're in for quite the battle. Did I compare the Browns to the Rams? No, the Browns of 2019. Because remember, going into the 2019 season, when they had Odell, they had everybody on paper. Remember what the roster looked like. Hell, you can even look at the 2021 Browns. Look at what the roster looked like. Everything on paper. You looked at it like, yo. Remember when they were talking about Browns to the Super Bowl? Remember this? We can't just all have Alzheimer's. That's what I'm talking about. The prediction, when you looked on paper, you said, dog, these guys are about to, wild out. Nah. That's why. That's what I'm talking about with the comparison. I'm talking about like the preseason, looking at the paper, thinking that's going to be the team of destiny, but it wasn't. But overall, I'm curious to see how this 49ers team is going to play in the postseason, and I'm really interested to see how the Rams are going to play in the postseason as well. Okay, but one way or another, there was that, and last but not least, the main event of all main events. Let me tell you something. I don't think there has been a better finale game in NFL history than the Raiders Chargers. A couple years ago, we were blessed with the 49ers and Seattle Seahawks game that came down to the 1-yard line. But my God, this Chargers-Raiders game had everything. In my opinion, because of what was on the line, although recency bias aside, this was the game of the year. Coming into the game, everybody was talking about, we want a tie. We want a tie. How crazy would it be to get a tie? And when the Chargers was losing by 12, there was no way people were thinking tie. The Raiders kick a field goal up by 15. I said, oh, no, wait. That's when I started drinking because I was like, yo, the Chargers can't do nothing in the second half. We good. We chilling. We all right. And mind you, as a Steeler fan, I'm just hoping somebody lose. So I'm sitting here watching the whole game like, yo, the Raiders got this. Woo, it's going. Game done. It's over, right? Game is over. You got the pick over to Hayward catches the pick. Woo! We living. We winning. We living. We winning. Chargers go for it on their own 18. Stupidest decision I have seen all season. But then again, let's just be real. What have the Chargers been doing? Remember the game against the Chiefs on Thursday night? What did the Chargers keep doing? Going for it on 4th down instead of taking points like jackasses. So you already knew this is what Brandon Staley was fixing to do because evidently this man looks at analytics and says, well, the percentages say I should do this, and he decides to go. He's Sheldon. That's exactly who Brandon Staley is. He's Sheldon up this motherfucker. Oh, well, the statistics, it says I should do this. The analytics says I should do that. All right, they said do this. All right, the numbers say, according to my calculations, 66% says that I can convert over here. This brother doing Steiner math. He's doing Steiner math on the sideline. But Justin Herbert from Family Guy is as clutch as they come. This man said to hell with your analytics. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go down the field. And out of nowhere, 4th down after 4th down, this man kept converting. He kept converting. Oh, it's 3rd and long. Not a problem. I got my man right there. Oh, it's 4th down over here. Not a problem. I got my man right there. I don't understand. I'm watching this unfold. I'm like, wait a minute. Hold on. What you mean? What you mean? This is Chargers now. We don't need